Hello guys, how's it going? Hopefully it's going good. Don't mind me, I just realised that my zoom level on my camera is way out. How is everybody doing? It's been a while. Been having a long hiatus due to health issues and various things in life getting on top of me. But I've been fancying playing this for ages, and I did insist to myself, made a promise to myself that I was going to make this either a streaming piece or YouTube recording, one of the two. Um, so here I am. I might make it a long-term streaming series. If I do, I don't know how regular I'll be able to make it. Mondays and Thursdays are out of the question because that is when I go to karate class. Saturday is a bit iffy because every third month we have special classes for karate to prepare us for grading, and just after the grading day itself to teach us the new kata that we'll be learning for the next 3 months. Um, so yeah, Saturday afternoons not too bad. Saturday mornings definitely go. Sundays maybe. As I say, definitely not Mondays and Thursdays. Oh, actually, no, not Thursdays. I actually have other real life commitments on Sundays, which I can't go into. Yeah, I have been thinking. We are getting like, yes, we are. I've been thinking about maybe making a full series out of this, go through the whole Mist series, Mist, Riven, all the rest of it. Absolutely bonkers. I know. I've heard how ridiculously, insanely difficult Riven is, and some of the other titles. Mist, not too bad as I understand it compared to Riven, anyways. Or I might just pivot to stuff like Broken Sword or the old point and click adventures. Lately, I've been getting the urge to want to play older stuff like that. So, yeah, that's where we might head going forwards. But we'll see how it works out. Anyway, let's change. Oh, bloody hell, it's a bit awkward. My face is very cut off in that position. I need to readjust my camera again, it seems. Why am I so badly cut off there? A little bit better. You can tell it's been a long time since I last streamed. Getting there. Any further away? Do I want to go this way? No, I want to go more to the right, I think. And a little bit lower. Because apparently I'm a professional streamer right here. Can you tell? Bad. Don't know why I'm fussing too much when it's possible that this might just end up being a one-off stream and no furthers. But either way, there we go. And of course, like I say, I even compared to where it should be. Just going to check my old channel to get a better idea of just how bad this actually looks. Otherwise, we're going to get loads of feedback. It seems to look quite reasonable, although there's a few seconds delay to catch up. It looks pretty reasonable. I feel like could do with coming a bit more into focus. Anyway, enough fiddling about. I know I've got a very reverb heavy mic, but not much I can do about that, I'm afraid. We'll just put that there. Gameplay scene. Oh, I'm chopped off again, don't you? Hello? Hello? Can't see me very well. But yeah, I'm going to leave my camera off for this one, I think. Right. I'm going to try and make a recording of this, maybe for YouTube upload. So bear in mind, depending on how things go, I might make interactions more appropriate towards YouTube content, or I might pause now and then to chat with chat so that I can edit those parts out of the video for a YouTube upload. But anyway, I've waffled on far too bloody long now, haven't I? How long have we been going? About 5 minutes. Open path could not be opened. Really? Awkward. Yes. Ah! Right, and haven't made this. Videos is because the directory doesn't exist. I wasn't sure whether or not OBS may try and create it. Yes. And it's working. Way! Right. Right. Don't need my camera open for the time being. So, Myst. Everybody should know this game. Absolute classic. You might not know it because, of course, it's, 33 years old now? 10, 9, yeah, about 33 years old now, I think. But yeah, played it ages ago once when I was really young as a teenager. Never got very far because I wasn't very smart back then. Could argue that I'm still not very smart, but we shall see how things go. Skip this one, I'll leave it in because I think it's just a logo. Just I need to adjust my well, I don't need to adjust. I need to check my audio levels in OBS to see whether or not it's absolute dog shit or not. No, it sounds okay in my lugs, but my mic might be overpowering the game might be overpowering the mic. You know how it goes. So this might absolutely deafen us. So I do apologise if it does. We'll find out the hard way. Down just a little bit in case it comes from mega loud. Won't be silent for the cutscene, by the way, because if I remember correctly, there's a person that does a lot of talking in this first cutscene.
I realized the moment I fell into the fissure that the book would not be destroyed as I had planned. It continued falling into that starry expanse of which I had only a fleeting glimpse. I've tried to speculate where it might have landed. I must admit, however, such conjecture is futile. Still, questions about whose hands might one day hold my mist book are unsettling to me. I know my apprehensions might never be allayed, and so I close, realizing that perhaps the ending has not yet been written.
The audio seems pretty reasonable at the moment, so hopefully that's okay. Anyway, let's open the book. Oh, thought it might have frozen there. I'm pretty sure that, yeah, that video on the right page is meant to be playing. pixelated video quality of 1993. Of course, isn't technically the full gameplay itself. Neither is this. Quite yet, anyways. This right here is what the majority of the in-game graphics looks like, if I remember correctly. Pause it for a moment. Check, that's better. So, I have something in front of us. All navigation for anybody that's not familiar with this really old game. It's all done with it goes out to the edges of the screen and clicking. Of course, very old-fashioned style, but quite impressive for its time. And JPEG images. Cool. Yeah, with a bell at the bottom. Lights on the bottom there. Can't do anything with them. You tend to have to check things from every angle because you don't have a free camera like you do in modern games. Can't go to the sides of the look at this. I do remember this much. Right, this is where I probably should have had a notepad or something on hand because these things get pretty important. Remember, got topographical extrusion test, 40 turbulent pool 67, mark switch diagram 47. Remember, oops, correctly. So what does say the 67 is already set for the water turbulent pool. If we just go back there. I think I've turned it off. Got to turn that back on. Turbulent. What did I say then when I was working? One of them was 40 off the bed. 47. That's that one locked in. Turn on the projector. Okay. Pretty fancy. Topographical map. Edge fucking technology right here for 1993. 3D modeling rather than all these pre-rendered backgrounds. And 47. I'll go background that way. It's that locked in. Was thingy marker. I forgot what the name was already. Wasn't paying enough attention to the name. That's not going to get me very far. Not paying attention to things in this game. Marker switch diagram. Alright, so I think we're done in here. For now, anyways. That is a marker switch. I don't know what it does, but we'll leave it in the original position for now, I think. A marker switch. I do remember that you have to count how many marker switches there's on the island. A little bit of a spoiler for anybody that's not wanting spoilers this early on in the game, but yeah, there's 2 of them. I know it was meant to be very important. Catherine, I've left for you a message of utmost importance in our 4-chamber beside the dock. Put the number of marker switches on this island into the imager to retrieve the message. Yours, Atrus. Yep, as I said, number of marker switches that we've got to find and count them all. The number of marker switches, I think I said that we found 2 so far. Not 3 in there. I don't know if there's going to be any it more thoroughly dealt with the objective at hand. Marker switches. Right, so that's 3. Right. Right. Head back on here then. That's definitely 1, 2. Down there. There's 4 on that top left. 1, 2, 3. 4 over by the rocket. Yeah. I won't look that yet. 4, unless I've miscounted. That'd be bloody great, wouldn't it? Miscounting from 1 to 4. Can't count higher than 4. I need my fingers. Oh. Didn't mean to look at that just yet, but might be relevant in the future. There's 5. And 6. I think these are all outside the buildings exclusively. Won't need to worry about going on too much. 7. Wood cabin. Oh, that's the 8. So is it 8 marker switches? Might be 8. Find out soon, because a message I've got it right.
Catherine, my love, I have to leave quickly. Something terrible has happened. It's hard for me to believe. Most of my books have been destroyed. Catherine, it's one of our sons. I suspect Achenar, but I shouldn't leap to conclusions. I'll find him and Cirrus as well. Oh, I should have known better than to have left my library unchecked for so long. Well, I've removed the remaining undamaged books from the library and placed them in their places of protection. You shouldn't have to use the books until I return. But if you've forgotten the access keys, remember the tower rotation. Oh, and don't worry, Catherine. Everything will be fine. I'll see you shortly. Oh, wait, and erase this message after you viewed it, just to be safe.
Okay. Places of protection, and remember the tower rotation. Where's the message after you've used it? Oh. It's, well, that's ridiculous. Unless anybody knows the code. Anyway, what we find it's in the place of that cog, and there wasn't really much to do up there. sit in. Oh. Say planetarium. Is that the correct word? I think it is. Stars. Nope, apparently not. It would be a bit of a rubbish planetarium if you can't close the door to keep the outside lights out when you're in here. Oh, hello. Bloody hell, it was a police siren outside. It's like, what the hell? That is such a weird sound. It doesn't sound that much like a siren, but yeah, apparently it was. So this is February, March, April. For month control. That should go away to 31, I imagine. A little bit annoying that makes the audio jump when you click it, but never mind. I'm guessing these two controls are hours and minutes. What? It's extra cool. Oh, is this control for the year, I'm assuming? Yeah, it seems to be 1999. And so this must be... That's your time control. Not sure what it does exactly just yet, but I'll look at it now. How do I leave this machine? Actually, it was back. Pick any random settings for now. Yeah, so it just tells you the positions of the stars, any particular time and date. I keep pressing escape to get out of these screens, forgetting that's not how it works in older titles like this. Hold that for a second. Down there. And get down below there at some point for some reason. Out of there for some reason. Deliberately want to ignore that island, the library, for now. What looks like a maple leaf. Arrow. That one. Spider. Snake. I'm on here. Crap. On which side? It's 4 of those things on each side. Didn't win yet. Very sudden door opening. What we're doing with those? Have something to do with this, I guess. Power 0. Power to spaceship 0. Without knowing, guessing that isn't interactive scene, it's just a bit of paper. It's not like if I bloody well change that's on here. That's good. Yeah, 40 minutes. Just want to make sure. And it is a puzzle game, and you never know what kind of weird mechanics that they want to have in it. Right, so. Yeah. Damn. Oh. Big tree trunk? Log? Tree? I'll have a look man in a second. Can we look at the tree? No, we can't have a look at the tree picture any closer. Do anything with the log? I want to turn it, but when I click it, it doesn't do anything. Okay. So locked. Safe code is. I haven't got any clues even point in the right direction for that yet. Midday. Ah, okay. I guess. Yeah, one does the small hand, one does the big hand. Yet. Got to go across there, so I'm guessing there'll be a bridges that gap once we get the right time on the clock properly. What do I? How do I get back to? Help! Ah, there we go. So the only place I haven't checked yet is the library. I can't talk. The library. Old. Staircase. Red book in an old and some kind of. Oh, excuse me. Oh. I can't control that manually. I can only control that by clicking and releasing. What the purpose of that is? That map, where was it? I'm assuming this is where we are. This building here does kind of look like similar to it from a bird's eye view. That's the bit with the cog. That's the beach leading to the little clock tower island. That will completely different position. Probably should see change where the hell the tower was. Yeah, maybe. There. Ah, yeah, that seems to be the tower that we're moving. It moves at a very glacial speed. Book first, seeing as I don't know what to do. Do you want to play something, or do I have to click it to make it play? Hang on. I think that was when it looped back on itself to the black screen. I click it, still does nothing. Page in. can't see me. You can't see me. Something must. Make out a word of that. What?
I am serious.
What's serious?
Give it up.
Mhm.
There is one thing I want. Rescue.
Hmm. So I think Sirius was his name, and he's talking about giving up.
Why?
Right, I'm going to leave that for now. I want to see what the other out of it and get out that way. Going into that book, I guess. Is there anything on its own? I think we're just going to get stuck on this one until we put the page in out. Stick that. See what we're getting now. Hopefully better reception.
Serious?
Serious is like, oh, this isn't serious again.
You know. Help me. Bring blue pages.
Blue pages.
Never and ever.
Ever?
Pages. I must have the blue page.
Yeah, you must have blue pages, okay, sure.
Bring them to me.
Right, so I guess these pages are the 1993 Fantasy World equivalent of SD cards with video files on them, or were they meant to be told to me live? Like broadcasting from somewhere? Streaming to me? Or what? Check it out. What does this do? Let's do. Oh! Hello, bookcase. Hi, bookcase. So I'm guessing that one. Picture of outside. Yep. Just let me back out again. I'm going to say. So let's go. Here's itself. See this thing. That was knackered. I guess this is what he was saying when he was saying that they destroyed all the books. All are pretty messed up. Good conditions. Probably some. Oh yeah, there's stuff in there. Yes, I'm painstakingly going to check every one of these, no matter how bad they look, because chances are you hidden them somewhere. It's obviously my buttons are pretty long. How much people hate. People reading on stream. What? quite long, but some diagrams of clues to puzzles by the looks of things. Faded. Seems like it's the ones that actually genuinely look intact, that are intact. That's a lot of patterns. Pages in this book. Yeah, I can see it. Can't. Yeah, this is a lot of combinations. Whatever this is for in terms of a puzzle, because it's obviously a puzzle guide, you're not going to be able to brute force it. Ooh, a few clues for a big one to the right. This one's probably going to have something. Even that one's not good. Okay. Right. Start. Call this age Channelwood, and it is a very different world. How I imagined it. It's still amazing to see it with my own eyes. Water covers this age as far as I can see, except for a small rocky island. Elsewhere, there are only trees which grow directly out of the water. A myriad of thin wooden passageways are built just above the water. Here in the forest. I assume they were built some time ago, for they appear aged. I am eager to discover more about this land and its people, but I have arrived here late and I must rest. I was awakened this morning by strange noises coming from a pathway adjacent to the one on which I had slept. I saw a group of monkey-like people heading in my direction. They had not seen me yet. I did not feel threatened by their presence. Response to me was one that I would have never expected. Staring at me for a short time, they fell to their knees and began what appeared to be some sort of ceremonial worship. I tried to speak to them, but they did not understand my language. Instead, they indicated through enthusiastic hand motions that I was to follow them. As we walked, I began to notice that the waters below us were changing colours. Slowly, subtly, they would change from deep blue to muddy orange, then from muddy orange to beautifully clear. I was so intrigued by the water, I had hardly noticed that we had arrived at a ladder. Climbing the ladder led us to their village, which is about 10 meters above the water. It can only be reached by rope ladders that stretch from the lower paths to the village level, approximately halfway up the grand trees. Very interesting watching these people carry out their daily tasks. Even after watching them for hours, I did not understand exactly what they were doing. At sunset, they motioned for me to follow them. I followed the creatures to the doorway of an enormous hut. Strangely, once inside, I found that the hut appeared even larger than it had from the outside. The walls were garnished with bright metals, and in the centre of the hut sat the leader of these people. At least he appeared to be their leader, for he sat a metre off the floor in a thick throne. Guards surrounded the strong creature, who was dressed in many exotic, colourful fabrics. Next to the leader sat a very old human. At least to some extent he appears human. His hair, which was only on his face and head, was completely grey, almost white, and hung very low around his frail body. His thin head hung limply by an almost grotesque neck that could not hold its head up to look at me. But what a surprise! This creature could speak my language. Shortly thereafter, I was given a bed with some hand motions You tell me to go to sleep. I look forward to learning more. Loads. Suspected the ancient creature is a human, but he is old beyond his beyond his own reckoning. It seems almost insane. However, the tree dwellers almost revere him as a god. They are treating me now in the same fashion, which makes me feel very uncomfortable. It is almost impossible to understand this old man. His voice is feeble but wild. He has adopted much of the language of the tree dwellers. He himself told me he had not spoken our own tongue in ages. He attempted to explain to me the history of this place. The following is my best translation of what he has told me. Many years ago, the humans and tree dwellers lived together in this place, which was then a vast island. They interacted very little. The humans dwelt on the ground, and the tree dwellers lived high above the humans. Excuse me. Occasionally, the island was disturbed by mysterious rumblings, which happened randomly. Some sort of tectonic or volcanic action, I suspect. Sometimes slight, sometimes heavy tremors would only last a short time, and they would stop, allowing everything to return to normal. One day things changed. The rumbling began and grew quickly to unprecedented levels. Soon it became apparent that the entire island was sinking slowly into the ocean around them. Many of the humans... Oh, fuck. Bloody phone on silent. One day things changed. The rumbling began and grew quickly to unprecedented levels. Soon it became apparent that the entire island was sinking slowly into the ocean around them. Many of the humans died that day, but not before sacrificing themselves in order to stop the sinking of the island. The humans who lived through this catastrophe moved into the trees where they gradually died out. Maybe because they were unequipped for such an environment, but I am not sure. This is the story the old man communicated to me, although many details are very unclear in my mind. I am especially confused as to how the humans saved the island from completely sinking. I doubt the accuracy of that part of this. The island must have stopped on its own, yet the old man believes in the truth of the story as if he had been there. Tree dwellers worship him, and apparently all humans, as if they were heroes or gods. The old man ended our conversation today with an event which I will never forget. He began gripping my hands tightly, murmuring something about rest and a sleep. He then said we had expected you to come sooner. His actions filled me with a sort of immediate dread. With much effort, he stood to his feet. I tried to help, but he pushed me away with more force than I imagined his frail body contained. The tree dwellers quietly surrounded him with very solemn faces. They then kneeled before him, walked to each and placed his hand on their heads. All the while he murmured words which I did not understand. Finally, he turned to me and smiled. Then he closed his eyes and walked out of the door and off of the narrow path high in the trees. The tree dwellers were silent. They began a procession down the nearest rope ladder. As I was descending, I saw several of them pick up the body. He had fallen onto a lower level of walkway and carry it away. He was laying down at the dead end of a short pier-like structure. With the use of some potion, one of the tree creatures lit the pier on fire, and I watched as the flames engulfed him. As the strange funeral proceeded, the waters around the pier changed to dull green. This morning I awoke, finding it hard to even believe the previous evening's events. The water is a dull green for as far as I can see now. For some reason, the water no longer shifts colour. As I wander through the pathways, the creatures watch me, curious to see what I will do next. They are constantly offering me strange objects of affection. I even found food outside the doorway of the room in which I had slept. This is a unique race of beings. I'll learn their language soon, so that I may learn more from them. Okay, I'm going to take a brief break then, not from stream just to catch my breath and get a bit of a drink, because man, this text goes on and on and on. We've got blue section. Still quite a bit. I have lived on this world for 3 months off and on, and the tree dwellers have shown great hospitality. I am even beginning to learn bits of their language. I have decided to return home for an extended stay with my loving wife and my sons, and hopefully return with them. However, I am sure Catherine will once again refuse. I think this age will be a wonderful experience for them all, and I at least look forward to how Sirius? Actually, no, I'm guessing that's the other guy in the picture that we were at before, will react to its curious inhabitants. So, for Sirius and Atris, his sons? My love, wife and sons, yeah. Catherine is staying behind as expected. My sons have returned with me and they enjoy this age very much. They get along very well with the tree dwellers and are picking up their language surprisingly fast. I have no doubt that it will not be too long until they can speak with the tree dwellers themselves. I have no doubt that it will not be too long until they can speak with the tree dwellers much better than myself. I am leaving tomorrow to check on Osmoyen? Now that's pixelated. Sirius has suggested that I allow him and his brother to stay, though the idea unsettles me. I know the boys are growing up rapidly. The hospitality of these creatures is such that I could think of no better place to leave them alone for a short while, so I will consent to their request. I want the boys not to take advantage of the respect the tree dwellers have for their ideas. They seem to understand my warning, and I have faith they will follow it. Much to my dismay, upon arriving in Everdunes, I learned that Pran and her people are continuing to be menaced by the Chaotic. I fear for their survival and plan on returning to her shortly after checking on Sirius and Achenar here. See Everdunes journal for more information. Okay. After watching Sirius and Achenar, I see they are handling things very well, and I think I can put to rest any fears about leaving them in Channelwood again, and for a little longer time. Tree dwellers seem slightly distressed that I am leaving, but are happy that Sirius and Achenar are staying behind again. I have been gone for over 3 days and have been to many different places. I had to tell Sirius and Achenar about Pran's death today, and they were visibly shaken, although they only remembered her from their childhood. Catherine has suggested that it would be wise for Sirius and Achenar to leave Channelwood for a while, and I have to agree. They will be returning with me when I leave again. I have told my sons that they will be returning with me in 2 days. They spent the entire night telling me of an adventure they experienced in my absence, and it was rather remarkable. It seems they constructed a boat with the creatures and travelled some ways out into the surrounding waters. I enjoy hearing them talk excitedly of their adventures, and I'm reminded of my own adventures as a child. I finally understand why the tree dwellers have been giving me their many inks and insisting I write with them. Looking through some of my past entries, I see now that the inks have changed from the black I thought they were to various different colours. I've shown some of the creatures my journal, and they laughed and howled. I did not know how they had such a sense of humour. Even now, as I look through this very colourful journal, I cannot help but laugh myself. We will be returning tomorrow, so my sons are with the creatures for the last night there. They have told me they would like to come to Channelwood again, and also asked if they can visit some other ages alone. Though I think I will have to think over their request. I believe they have proven to me that they are trustworthy and responsible. Catherine will also have to help me decide whether they are ready for travel alone. For now, I must give my farewells to the creatures, for I do not know how long it will be until I visit the sage again. That was a bridge? Bridge as in the future bridges got planned, or a bridge to the future, or... assume that's the treetop village where they were staying. Some sort of windmill? Sail? On the other books. A hell of a lot of reading and a lot of so much reading. The ones were just knackered, weren't they, for the most part? I think it was mainly these big, fucking chunky ones, wasn't it? That was just a cool book. Oh, no, I didn't. Is got even more lore and story reading. I'm going to take a brief 5-minute break, and then I'll come back. I'll continue reading even more stuff. No, it's not the best content in the world, but I'm enjoying it, and more than anything else, I am doing this stream for myself to enjoy this game properly for the first time. So, yeah. Join me in 5 minutes, go to the bathroom, tab if you smoke, unsuggested, horrible habit, do whatever you need to do, go to the bathroom, whatever. I'll see you in 5 minutes.
feel lonely by your side in the middle of the night. I feel lonely by your side in the middle of the night. I'm standing in the dark. I'm listening to you, and all I feel is love. Aggressive vibes consuming me. I'm falling just for you. It's all I get. 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 So consume me.
Right, we are back, and we're going to dive straight in to another book. I know some people will absolutely despise me for this kind of thing in the live stream, but this is the sort of thing that'll get chunked out in YouTube recordings if I decide to make a YouTube series out of this, and then you can just watch through the game until I get you, and then I'll just put in a timestamp going, yeah, go to such and such video, and you can listen to the whole book being read there if you're interested in that sort of thing. If you're not, then just get the important bits. Anyway, Emmett was the first one to live on the rocks. He named them the rocks because that is what they were. A group of sharp rocks clustered together in the middle of a large sea. This was where Emmett lived. He enjoyed his life. Emmett would occasionally swim to nearby rocks as it was never too far of a distance. One day, another person appeared on the rocks for no apparent reason to Emmett. Emmett named this new person Branch. Emmett and Branch quickly became friends, swimming and hunting for fish together. Often Emmett showed Branch the simple cave in which he lived on the largest rock. Soon Branch discovered a place where he decided to live, also on the same large rock. Some sort of parable. We've got Emmett and Branch. Okay. Anyways, the sun always shone brightly in their world, and the water was always dazzlingly clear, allowing them to see almost to the deep ocean floor which surrounded them. The sun always shone. It was never too hot for the boys. A light breeze always came from the north and cooled the area down. One day, while Branch was a bit of a One day, while Branch was swimming and having fun in the water, he noticed another boy swimming. Branch brought the new boy to Emmett to find out what to call the new boy. Emmett said the boy should be called Will. Will was soon a part of the group, and all three of the boys swam and enjoyed their perfect world. At least that is the story I was. Why can't I say that? At least that is the story I was told when I arrived today on the island. Emmett, Branch, and Will were surprised to see me at first, but even before the night ended, we were all becoming good friends. Today, the second day on this newly created age, a strange thing happened. It was not strange to me, but the three boys did not understand what was happening. While I was relaxing under a large tree on one of the smaller rock islands, it began to rain. It was a nice rain that lasted for about an hour in the morning. I explained to the boys that the rain was not harmful, yet they obviously still feared it. Before going to sleep tonight, I told the boys I would leave the following day. I told them that while I was gone, I would make a surprising change in their world. They didn't understand, not that I expected them to. I still do not fully understand what happened today. I was experimenting with the art, testing the limits of the rules as dictated to me by Father. This is one the sons are trying this. Want to make a surprising change to the world. Should be messing with other people's worlds. But, okay. I attempt to create a boat by writing it into the world. I thought everything was planned correctly, yet somehow the boat had become gripped by the rock and broken in half. Is it possibly the boat that we're seeing at the start of the game? Although this test did not turn out as I had hoped, I now have answers to a few of the questions my father never answered. As for the boat, I can see the boys enjoy it anyway, and with that I am pleased. They have played on it all day. Even though the boat cannot move, I have enjoyed studying from it. It is a much sturdier platform than the jagged rocks. In the course of my observations, I have learned some very interesting things regarding the solar system of this age. Submersible lamp. The nights are absolutely beautiful here. I have made note of and named a number of constellations that pass above me. Also during the night I catch glimmers of light from the horizon, which I have not been able to... This is a long run on sentence. Also during the night I catch glimmers of light from the horizon, which I have not been able to discover if it is created by some natural phenomenon or by additional people on far-off islands or rocks. I should very much like to discover which. I rather suspect it is additional people, which would explain the appearance of Branch and Will. Okay. The rain today was slightly heavier than usual. Just when the boys were getting used to the light rains, a small storm arrived. They were frightened of the heavier rain, not to mention the thunder and lightning. Rain has never fallen here until recently, as the boys tell me. I would like to discover why it is falling now. Very good question. Regardless, I have decided to return home for a short while. I have also been thinking of some plans for a lighthouse that I hope to construct soon. I think that perhaps by shining a bright light towards the horizon... I think that perhaps by shining a bright light toward the horizon, it might prove my suspicions regarding additional inhabitants. You would be curious about the light and travel to discover its source if they have the means. I returned with many tools that I will need for construction of the lighthouse. I have decided that once the lighthouse is completed, I will leave for some time and let the world's own imagination have control. We have worked 3 weeks on the lighthouse now, and are making great progress. The rock that we are building on seems to not be as secure as I would like. I have had to alter my plans slightly, but those alterations pose no real problem. The boys are quite strong and have been helping me immensely. I estimate construction will be done within 2 days. The lighthouse is finished and we are all proud of our creation. The boys are amazed at the structure wrought from rock with their own hands. That evening we powered up the generator, which the boys dreaded first, and shined a great light to the horizon for many hours. I stayed the night in the top of the lighthouse, and in the morning awoke to observe the sunrise without my being coated with the chilly blanket of ocean dew I had become accustomed to. It was Will who first saw the girl. She was swimming not far from the boat where Will was getting ready to hunt for fish. Then Will noticed a man not far away from the girl. Emmett was very pleased to meet the additional neighbours. I feel pleased to leave this age. I have set in motion events that have nothing to do with writing or the art, that will have a more profound impact on this world than I could have ever written. I think of it this age as a gift to myself that I will wrap up, and someday in the future... What? That sentence makes no sense. Does a kid even know how to make English? I think of it this age as a gift to myself that I will wrap up and open someday in the future, only to discover that it has changed so much that indeed it is a surprise. Besides, I have yet another new age that awaits me. It seems I'm going to need some way to travel underwater in this new age, and so much planning is in order. It has been 10 years since I left this age, which I have since called the Stone Ship Age. Upon returning, I cannot believe the changes that have taken place. The original 3 boys have grown into adults, and there are many new faces that I do not recognise. Branch told me that it has not rained for 7 years. Cool breezes are back again. Okay. They are all very content and have been serving me with many They are all very content and have been serving me with new foods and showing me new materials they have discovered. It even seems they have found gold somewhere. I see it in many forms around the island. My lighthouse has been kept in perfect condition, and it looks as if they have tried their very best to keep it. And it looks as if they have tried their very best to keep it so. Yet I have noted that the entire rock it was built on has sunk approximately 40 or 50 centimeters. After a wonderful visit with my old friends, I wonder aloud with them what things will be like here in another 10 years. I went to the constellations. Only got a handful. But I've seen the anchor, I've seen the eye, I've seen the snake, I've seen the spider. I don't think we've seen a cross though. We've seen an arrow, I don't think we've seen the flamingo, and we've definitely seen a leaf. So find these constellations. I mean, I know we've got a planetarium, but plugging them in needs a code, a date, and a time. I don't have any dates and times, I don't think. Bird's eye view of the stone ship age. It's not where we are, I don't think. No dates and times in here, was there? Seemed like it. How long are the other books? Right. It was a fair cool. Why are these books so long? One thing I'm going to check briefly before we go back to reading, because I'm determined that I will get all these read, even if it kills me, is these symbols. Certain that we're seeing the leaf. What about the flamingo? Flamingo. The arrow that we're not sure about, and there should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Way out there it is. So yeah, there should be a cross somewhere. There's the cross, so there's a cross. This one. Yep, so there was a confirming it. So all those constellations are relevant to these boxes. Is the meaning of being able to change the colours. So they all make the sound when I... Hello, I didn't know that would get. It's probably the boat in the bay, I'm guessing, seeing as it's sunk, urged. Great to think that I need to have a constellations. I get dates and numbers, because otherwise I could be here for a lifetime trying to find these constellations relevant with the I activate one of these. Not make any difference. Back here, perhaps. Our constellations are relevant. We've done anything. So, yeah. The eyeball attack? I think it was, wasn't it? I wasn't paying attention when I stuck which one. So, there's nothing else that we do down there for the time being. I don't. Still just back in the library with a lot more. 3 more books. Long books. Hell, and I have decided. Turning the tower because it's got a rotation. The only thing that we've been able to turn so far, I believe. I wonder if we'll ever be able to see the rest of these books now, like if it's just faded or whether it's invisible ink or whether it's something completely different. One we're on because we won't have this big bay. At the top. I think any dates in yet anywhere, and I certainly haven't seen a piano yet. Dates unless it's been really clever when they built these puzzles. And doing the text where you literally have to read 3,000 blah 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 to find it rather than in numbers. So that you can just scan through and look at the numbers. Trying a bit of a break from the reading for now. Bye. Fireplace. But relevant codes, but the 300 possible combinations for that, so we need to find something to help us out there. That's what I'm looking for. Why reduce the bookcase? Because I don't know if I'll be able to, well, I should be able to bring the bookcase back. I guess. Otherwise, how on earth would I be able to get back out again if I couldn't reset the book positions? Can't go down the side of this thing. Lift. Library. Hey! Animation. Shit, I did not mean to do that. I thought that was the button to open the doors. Ah! Sharpest knife in the drama. I pressed the button to go up and then for some reason I thought it would be the button to take to open the doors. Right. Hold on open. Right, so we're in the tower now. And that leads to the library. Well, it seems like you can go further up there, maybe. Like just a pulley mechanism for the lift. Okay. don't see them shown anywhere else, I don't believe. I think best off just going back downstairs for now. Really daft question. Can I close the door from here, and does it make any difference if I do? It doesn't. I can skip closing the door if we just press the button. Yeah. Round. Reactivate the bookcase. Get ready to burn my eyeballs out with a whole load more reading. Right, I hope you're ready. This sound of the ocean or the wind in the background is really distracting. That's part of the reason why I have to keep on pausing sometimes, because it makes me lose my focus in the middle of a sentence. Anyway, it has been a while since I have heard only silence, and I enjoy it greatly. I think for some reason I do not feel altogether welcome in this new world in which I have arrived. But how could I be unwelcome in an age with no inhabitants? It is of course only in my head. This world is very beautiful, but I think I have yet to ever write in a journal that an age I have linked to is horrid or disgusting. On the grassy hill where I am standing, I can see green fields below along with a few scattered forests. A rather large lake looms at some distance from where I am standing, yet the water's blue can be seen plainly from here. The air is fresh, and the sky is sparkled with white clouds. It is absolutely breathtaking, and yet that strange feeling again. Perhaps it is the hot breeze that continues to blow from the north, hotter than I would have imagined. Almost singes the skin, and I feel quite uncomfortable when it comes. I will try to ignore it. Night has almost arrived and the sunset is spectacular. Oranges and reds have settled above the western horizon. Though night has come, the horizon still glows red long past the sunset. Dark reds flow from the horizon and blend into the black sky. Again, the feeling I am beginning to believe is not all in my mind. I must sleep now. I will need my strength to explore more tomorrow. I have had to return home due to unpredictable natural occurrence, more frightening than I have ever experienced. I was awakened by terrible shakings in the ground and explosions on all sides of me. Gigantic balls of fire were falling from the sky, and I immediately left in fear of my life. I must remember to bring a mist linking book with me when I return, in case the one left there. I'm sure it should be in case the one I left there has been destroyed or damaged. I have returned to a different world than the one I left only 3 months ago. It has been transformed into a barren desert land, with only gigantic craters scattered across the land to provide variety. Strangely enough, the small grassy hill where I spent my first night remains exactly the way I found it. Apparently the falling meteors did not hit this area, leaving an oasis in the midst of this horrible desolation. The hot wind, I remember, has turned into a rather pleasant breeze, which is at least one improvement. I fear it is the only improvement. The magnificent lake I saw on my first visit is now completely dried up. However, another lake now exists, and appears to be quite a bit larger. I assume one of the falling meteors created this lake due to its circular shape and the jutting rock that grows out of the centre of the lake. The rest of this world seems like desert, although I will verify that statement with closer inspection. Wait, did I accidentally click out there? Though this world has little visual excitement to offer, it offers much to the ears. Sounds constantly flow through my ears, and I have found where few of them originate. It seems, as Catherine says, I do find beauty in everything. Last night I was awakened by a horrible hissing. I was sweating, and the heat was so intense that I immediately dipped my head in a nearby stream to cool it down. Hot breezes had returned, along with a low roar from the ground. I walked a short distance to observe some red flames shooting up from the earth. Suddenly the ground began to crack and a huge chasm opened. The chasm continued to grow until it was far too wide to cross. Then the tumult subsided, leaving only a dull roar. I have decided, however, I can use the chasm to my advantage. Perhaps the heat from the chasm can be harnessed. Even as the chasm has ripped into the surface of this world, it has opened up a whole new world to explore. Although uncomfortably hot, I found it possible to reach a cave in the chasm that had been created, and have now explored deep into the crust of this planet. I have found a vast underground cave system that will take many years to map and explore. I will also look for a safer way to reach the underground than through the chasm wall. I need to catch my breath and I'm drying out a little bit here. This age seems to change on its own, so I feel I should leave again and see if things are different when I return. It's also important that I check on Sirius and Achana and make sure everything is going along well. When I return, I also hope to bring back some tools I will need for my plans to explore the underground. The abundance of raw materials here is beginning to amaze me. I have returned with some of the complex tools I knew I would need. I would be needing. I assumed I would have to return for more basic materials. However, it seems as though I will be able to find everything I need here. Of course, iron is abundant, but I have also found titanium occurring naturally. I am all the more excited to begin work. Everything is set, and I look forward to tomorrow. My raw materials are all here. I think I will be able to have most of my additions to this age completed within 1 year. I so love working with my hands, whether writing or building. I have and figured out. Well, and I have decided some sort of water well or something else altogether different. 3 meters is not enough support for something, whatever. Weird. Radar dish, transmitting dish, radio dish. That same rocket ship that's outside. Be one of my most prized inventions. I am something extreme. Never imagined it to come together. Don't work with instead of. I'm so happy to have. I am leaving today in order to bring back Sirius and Achana. I have left them alone in Channelwood. I believe they will enjoy all there is to see here. The age seems to have stabilized. I believe the meteors set off a period of volcanic activity by piercing into the shallow crust, but the tremors have become few. I have just noticed that a large amount of this journal has curiously vanished from the very pages on which I wrote over the last 18 months. Fortunately, I have copied many of my construction notes in another journal. I do not understand the many mysteries of this world, but I trust I will discover logical answers to my questions. I have a feeling that many of my questions can be answered in another age to which I hope to travel soon. For now, I must simply accept this world's mysteries and take pride in my accomplishments. A piano with a guide. What order to play them in? Notes. And a map of their liaison. So 2 more books, and I think these ones are thankfully a little bit shorter. Oh no, maybe we've only got 1 more book. I think we've only got 1 more book. Oh no, I have stars. I thought maybe those are the pointing numbers or something there for a second, but nope, I'm just going crazy. Just looking at the diagrams to give myself a little bit of a break from reading before we need to start reading this one as well. That cross is relevant to the cross on the stones outside and Insignia of Black Ship. Still trying to think that anywhere that we haven't been to yet. We have a thing that we're going to really interact with any sort of meaningful way is tower that I can rotate. I won't know what benefit the power plant. I think that's a power plant doing there. Power the ship. You can only get in slightly different positions. Tower. I don't know what position it's going to be in. Imagine. Yeah, but there's no real clue to tell you when it's rotated to the correct position. Oh, hello, a seagull. I didn't see that before. Away. Just out of sheer curiosity. The wrong place here because I'm trying to rush. Ah! That was in the down position. That one was seems to be in the up position. Can't tell from far back. That was in the down position. All in the down position. Differences. Can't do anything with that one. Right. That's what I'm trying to do. Put that one. Okay. Oh, we can see it from up here as well. It's a bit of a nice clip as well, perhaps. I wonder if that might be helpful, because that seems a slightly more useful view than the other ones. Wait, what were all these other? These weren't on before, were they? Those weren't on before. Those switches turned on these relays on. Confirm I'm not losing my mind. It's on for the well in the center. If I go back to that map. It's right, so that's what those levers are doing. So it must have been quite helpful to have turned them on. Rotating in position. Do anything because it intersects with that now. I wonder. What I thought is. Doesn't mean that this tower is the same tower that we're rotating. Facing a particular position. That means I might actually be able to see something from out of it. Aha! That was closed by a wall. Ah, yes, so it does let you look down on those positions. That is handy. Don't know why it's handy, but it is a nice. Can't reach it. Maybe it's nothing. Maybe it's something. Doesn't seem to be anything of significance there. But we can go down. See what other positions we can put it in line with. If that reveals any extra information. Oh, we're going to be going up and down this tower a lot. Just skip that travel by hitting escape. Because I was going to do the thing that turns off the travel animations just while we're messing around with this thing. That in the seconds there, but I don't think it's going to be all that handy. Skip the observatory for now. Oh, I want to look at the book again. Escape does actually let you skip that. That's handy to know. Let's see. A really big, fucking massive tree. Okay. Let's see what else. Significance. The observatory for now. We'll have to have another look at that because that is one of the main locations, I believe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, yeah. I missed what I was aiming for. And I missed what I was aiming for again. Does not help at all. Doesn't give any kind of position doing that. Unless, oh, I didn't think to check that. You change the other side, just one side. Check the ship. Check that position from the other window, we'll call it. If that gives us any other. Check the book side, but check the key side. Aha! Okay. Okay. This is useful. Need something to write things down. Tablet. Note. The text. October 11th, 1984, and 4 a.m. January. Insist on putting it January 17, 12:07, 5. 7 p.m. 23rd. Oh, I wrote that date down wrong, didn't I? That's 9791. 1971. That was when it was lined up with. That's jotted down. Probably going to have to plug those into the observatory, I think, seeing as that's one place where I've seen date and times and all the rest of it so far. The ones that we had looked at were. That was the ship. That's one that we missed the chance to check out last time. Not sure what that one was. Let's see, that is giant tree. Note of tree. Other side. Oh, different type code. 7. Don't really make it exactly how it is displayed out the spaces and whatnot, but we'll leave that there. So I've made a note of the giant tree location. Guessing it doesn't matter. Try and take the screws out. That wire's got a key on there because it is the literal key to what the location means. Right, so what else have we got? Be very careful, I'm thinking. I want to go red. Get on to something of significance. Spaceship, rocket ship. One there, not yet. 59 volts. Okay. I'm doing a bit of telephone and stuff. Telephone taken. Rocket. 59. Okay. So, anywhere else? I'm going to do this one fast, just in case I can find it easier by watching for the red pages. Giant key. Yeah. anything else in the ship. And I don't think this one does anything because obviously it's lined up there and so overlapping. Trying to do it really delicately by lots of small touches. But oh crap. Yes, that noise is incredibly annoying, I know, I'm sorry. It's an old game, okay? I forgot what the hell that one was called. I think that was the giant tree, wasn't it? I've got all the significant areas. But you get a little bit more reading done, because if I don't get done in the stream, I'll just be like, no, I don't ever want to read shit again, and then I'll never find out important information. So, sorry, I won't have to just bear with it. I think there was only one book left anyways, and it was quite a short one compared to the other ones. Before arriving in this age, I was determined that there would be a journey to a world very different from my previous adventures, and it was. The sky here is dark and grey and incessantly displays flashes of lightning in the distance. I met a very old man with a long beard and hair that hangs to his waist. He is very feeble and has trouble even moving. This man has obviously been through many things in this strange world, and I have learned many things from him. He has told me an interesting story of this world's history. Years ago, he told me there was a beautiful city that rose up out of the water. It housed many people inside its walls, and the people had everything they wished for. The city was surrounded by 3 high hills which rose higher than the city. On the east hill of the city rested a large lookout post. The people of the city had constructed the post expecting visitors to arrive from the east. People had no means of travelling on the water, which forced them to merely wait for friend or foe. As time passed, friendly visitors brought rumours of an enemy that existed beyond the horizon. People grew fearful, yet nothing happened. One day, the usually sunny sky became as dark as night, and black ships appeared on the horizon. The lookout post's attempts at peace were turned away, and the sentries were there. One day, the usually sunny sky became as dark as night, and black ships appeared on the horizon. The lookout post's attempts at peace were turned away, and the sentries there were easily overwhelmed. Ships continued to wreak havoc on the city, apparently destroying everyone and everything. After the foundations of the city were destroyed, the city sunk deep into the ocean, and only the lookout post remained. Black ships sailed away. The man continued to say that 8 people had hidden and managed to survive through the attack. In the 9 years since the attack, 2 of the survivors had died. He also said that it was rumoured that 10 years from the attack, the enemy would return to finish the destruction they had started so long ago. I have decided, since hearing the man's story, it would be admirable to save the civilization and stop this enemy's plan of destruction. I'm excited about the adventure that awaits me, and an idea has sparked in my mind to provide the needed defence for these people. I met the remaining survivors today, and I have begun work on a plan for protection. After a short absence, I have returned to this age with my 2 sons. They have, as of yet, travelled rarely with me, and they are understandably excited to be here. They have grown considerably since Everdunes, and it is already obvious to me that they will be a great help this time instead of the nuisance they have been in the past. All 3 of us, along with 4 of the healthier survivors, began construction today. We are building upon the old city's ruins, which will provide a perfect foundation for our fortress. My sons have been spending much of their spare time on the South Island, where most of my materials are stored. I am very pleased with their intelligence, and their creativity is refreshing to see as they work on some small projects of their own. It has been over 4 months now, and construction is going well. My sons love the world except for its grey sky. They detest the grey sky and tell me many times they wish the sky here were like the sky. Well, blah, blah, blah. They detest the grey sky and tell me many times they wish the sky here were like the blue sky in Mist. The old man I first talked to tells me that the enemy is due in 4 months. I feel we will be ready when the time comes. The man reminds me of Emmett in many ways, and I often wonder how Emmett and his people are doing. It has been 6 months of work and we have finally finished the fortress. It rests between the 3 hills, which are now only islands due to a rising water level that the people experienced after the attack. Inside the fortress, I have designed a most intriguing device. It makes use of a technology called holography. I began experimenting with on my visits to Aspermere. It will be working in a couple of days after I compensate for some small miscalculations. This holographic device will enable the survivors to learn to use the fortress. Enemy is due to come soon, and I trust the fortress will provide sufficient protection for all of us. The black ships have come. Their attack was substantial. Their weapons have been stopped, and it appears they have turned away in defeat. I could not help but smile as I watched the boats leave. Last night we had a small celebration, and the old survivors danced their dances of old. My sons do not understand why the sky had not turned back to its original blue. The old man told them that the storms would never end until the enemy was destroyed. I assured my sons that the blue sky was not worth the risk of death, and they seemed to hear me. I have had a healthy adventure, and have begun work on a new book. Once again, I must leave a familiar age in search of a new universe. I have begun, but first I will have an extended time with Catherine, whom I miss very much. I must also return to the people of the Tide. I believe in my travels, I have found a substance that will ease the pain of their bone ailments that they have long endured. I hope to return to the mechanical age one day and find the population growing and my fortress still strong. The sky may always be black. I am confident the people here feel a heavier darkness has been lifted from their shoulders. Track for... In the silent rotate, perhaps that's supposed to be... Getting ours going back and forth, and the track is... Might be kind of rotating island, rotating force, maybe? Connections to other parts of them, because they had said it was a collection of rocks above the sea, so I think that's what it is. There's the gear underneath, as if to hint at it even more. It's staircase that lifts up. This was meant to be. Right, well that's all the books read. What am I doing for stream? 140. Right, so we've got all the stuff from that. We've looked at the red book, we've looked at all the books in the bookcase, been into the tower. All that, let's just back outside. Been in the fireplace and seeing a grid, but we don't know if that is the right one. We have blue book. Oh, we just have to stifle a burp there. Right, so we go in here and have my notes. October 11th. What? 11th. Uh, 10:00 a.m. it's like 10:04 a.m. I think. Here we go. 4 a.m. October 11th, 1984. 4 a.m. Yes. Not a lot. A voice. Radio signal. Really help me. Help me light. Let's have the light on. Okay. January 17th. 12:07. Seven. 5:46 a.m. Doesn't really help much. I wonder if I'm meant to somehow remember these patterns and match them up with the constellations that we had in the brain in the book in the library area. But 20. 971. Massive shift for this one. Alright. Really help. Constellations in it. Right, you got the constellations. Trying to remember these. Oh, wrong. Now I was going to say, I wonder if those 3 dates will show me the constellations of some that I'm missing from the post outside, but there is a post outside if I remember correctly, so all those constellations are correct. I'll take a picture of those constellations and try to match up with any in any clues. I wonder if just that thought occurred to me, if these constellations do match up to the ones that the dates are showing, maybe it's those 3 constellations symbols that we need to activate in the column pathway to do something. bear with me. The sort of thing you can easily copy down by hand with any degree of accuracy. Right. So I'm still going to need those dates handy. And I forgot to pin the note just to make life easier. Okay, it's okay, I found it again. Huh? Constellation room, the planetarium. Left and right side. Yeah, programmed in. I hit that button the last time that I put these constellations in. Maybe not. Oh, no. I need a seat. So, does that look like any of the images on my phone? I'm sorry that you can't see what I'm looking at to compare this with. No. That one. Definitely not that. That one. Might. Right, so that's Spider. That matches up with Spider. So that was 23rd, 9791656. Spider, and it doesn't match with any of the others. Match with any of the other ones. Right, so now we need to check the other dates. October 11th, 1983. And oh, that's what we hit on the matching symbol straight away. That is a leaf. January 7th. January 17th. At 5:46 AM. What skill that was, stopping perfectly on 12:07 there. 5:46 AM. Now let's see if that matches. But it should match up on my other symbols that I've jotted on my phone. Right, it's not triangle. It is eyeball. Seems to be snake. Any similar ones that obviously not spider because not arrow. Definitely not flamingo. Not leaf. So what was it? Was snake. I don't know what these other bloody symbols and signs are for. Giant tree 724. Rocket ship 59 volts. Might be easy to work that one out. Giant gear 242. I've seen anything that's got. Oh, hang on, 240. Could that be a time of day for the. Anyway, we'll focus on the ship puzzle for now. The billion? Is that all the sort of thing? Right, so it wasn't bird. Where's my note? phone and my tablet here for taking notes because my phone's got a better camera than my tablet. Leaf, snake, and spider. Leaf. Arrow. Not angler. Huh? Snake. Right. Is that what I said? Can't even remember. Angry with fish. Done anything. Right. See if Leaf was one of them. I think it did. Snake, spider, leaf, snake, spider. I'll have to do something to lock those in. He's doing a lot. Yeah, just in case we've got to do it right. Snake. I've tried to do it in order there, but I've kind of messed it up a little bit. Well, it has to guess that other one with the what we think is a time for about 2:40 to 2:40. What would that be on a clock? It would be big hand on 8. Wow. One more turn. And 1, 2. And turns a little one. 3, 7. Oh, that's 23. God damn it! Ha! That's right. I'll update my notes just so I can remember that I've used that code. Opens. Bridge. Yeah, bridge. So. Now. Up. Let's see. We're going to check with the tower now that should be displayed on the map. I haven't seen that one before. Didn't go red, so I'm guessing there's probably no significance to it. I want to check it anyways. It doesn't have any significance at all, just a solid brick wall in that position. Oh, wait, I don't know. It's in the tower just yet. Getting back out. Right. Go. Oh. Okay. Now we did have some 3-digit codes earlier, so this might be where this comes in handy. 724-221. 221 just because that's connected with 240, the time that opened the bridge. This place 221. How do we change? Ah, okay. It's not just click, you have to click and pull.